Hello everyone, and welcome back to the OptiTrack Live Link tutorial for Unreal Engine. Today we are going to be talking about Switchboard, Unreal Engine's plugin that allows you to capture all of your devices with one click. Switchboard is one of the most important steps for recording in production. It's super important that when you record, you're recording all of your data at the same time using the same timecode and genlock. This includes Motive, any video reference or sound device, and of course Unreal Engine. The purpose of this video is to guide you through the steps of installing Switchboard and then setting it up to hit play and record all of your devices. So without further ado, let's get started. One of the first things that we need to enable is the Media Framework Utilities plugin. This allows us to get timecode and genlock into the project and also share it across Mocap Manager and Switchboard. Once you enable that, go ahead and enable Switchboard as well. Now after you've enabled both plugins, go ahead and restart the project. So in order to set up timecode and genlock, we're going to create a media profile. Right-click in your content browser and search for Media Profile. Or you can go to the top of the toolbar and select this button that will allow you to create a new media profile. Name this and save it wherever you'd like. Now go to the timecode and genlock section and override the project settings for both of these. For timecode provider, we're going to use the LiveLink timecode provider and select any subject from our OptiTrack LiveLink instance. For genlock, you'll select LiveLink custom timestep and then manually select the rate at which you are recording. Select any one of the subjects from LiveLink and then you should be good to go. If you are not using timecode or genlock in your production, then you can skip this step entirely. If you'd like, you can then go into the project settings and search for Media Profile to apply this media profile on startup each time. This media profile should override the whole project settings within Take Recorder, but sometimes in Take Recorder the timecode and genlock get disconnected from the media profile. If it is disconnected, just be sure to go in and refresh the timecode and genlock in Take Recorder. Now be sure to save this asset and we can move on from here. For Switchboard, we're going to go ahead and enable an OSC Listener on launch. To do this, go to your project settings and type in OSC. Scroll down to the bottom and then enable OSC Listener on launch. Then you'll have to type in the IP address for the Unreal computer, the one you're working on now. Then go back to the level editor and at the top, click this button to install the Switchboard dependencies. It'll go through installing a couple of different Python things, but once it's done, you should be able to continue. At this point, Switchboard should have launched. With Switchboard launched, you're going to be prompted to create a new config. This will load Switchboard with the proper files it needs in order to read and write to everything. To do this, just select Browse next to the U project property, and then find your project file within your File Explorer. It should load the config path by itself at this point, so you can then just click OK. Now that Switchboard is connected to your project file, and if you click the level dropdown, it'll show you every level that you have in your project. You can also click this refresh button if you need to add or remove levels, and it will reload the levels in Switchboard. Next, it's time to add all of the different devices. For example, we are going to be connecting to Unreal Engine's editor, to Motive, and to LiveLink Face. To do this, we simply click the Add Device button at the top left and then select the device that you want to add. It will give you a prompt to type in a name and then an IP address. The IP address that you're going to select for this will be the IP that is coming from that device. For LiveLink Face specifically, you'll need to make sure that you are connected to the same Wi-Fi network as the computer that is running Switchboard. Click OK once you have typed in the name and the IP address for your devices. After you connect each device, they will all have their own settings and properties in the settings window. Feel free to look around and apply any settings that you may need for your project. We are now going to close the Unreal Engine project. After that has been closed, go ahead and type your Windows key and then search for Switchboard Listener. If you have multiple Unreal Engine instances of Switchboard, just make sure that you select the right version. Switchboard Listener will allow us to connect to Unreal Engine and send and receive commands. And it should connect all of your devices to Switchboard Listener. You should see a connect message with the IP address that you're connecting to in Switchboard Listener and Switchboard. You will see this in Switchboard in the lower right and in Switchboard Listener on the lower left. Now, back in Switchboard, click this up arrow. This should launch your Unreal Engine instance. A quick way to verify that you set up everything correctly is that in Switchboard, you should see a green icon on the left next to each device that you've connected to. For Motive, you may only see a blue icon until you hit record for the first time. Another way to check that you have a strong connection between each device is changing the slate name and take number. When you change the slate name or take number in Switchboard, it will downstream send that information over to Take Recorder, Mocap Manager, and even Motive. After you've verified that, everything should be ready to start recording. Simply go ahead and press the record button. Every single device will record at the same time. It will also include all of the same timecode, genlock, and names assigned to their take. Once recording is done, you could review it in Sequencer and review the take in Motive to see if you've gotten all the data you're looking for. So that basically covers everything for Switchboard. You have now completed the entire setup and record process for motion capture using OptiTrack and Unreal Engine. The data you would capture at this point is called previs and is often not the final result. This is because you may want to go back to Motive and edit some of your marker data and then re-import the data back into Unreal Engine for the final cut. Of course, you can go further than that and adjust your animations with a control rig to get even finer detail or match the overall theme of your project a bit better. Regardless, this is where we will end this part of the series. It's been a long run, but I hope you've learned a lot. There is so much more that OptiTrack, Motive, and Unreal Engine have to offer. So I encourage you to go out and try some new stuff knowing what you know now. Thank you so much for watching up until now, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.